One of the craziest team time trial or any time trial finishes I've ever seen, and that includes the men's Vuelta last year, which finished under a storm. This is the start of La Vuelta Femenina, Little Trek bringing Longo Borghini, Spratt, and Gaia Riolini, who was cooking on the Queen Stage last year. Niewiadoma fresh off, Flèche Wallonne victory, and of course Demi Vollering, the reigning Tour de France Femme avec Zwift champion. So a really, really good start list. Probably 6 or 7 of the top 10 GC riders, if not more, here at this race. And we have some good stages after the TTT as we head north into La Laguna Negra Vinuesa, and some hilly stages around that mountain stage as well. But the opening stage was a team time trial, and out and back in Valencia, pretty flat, but quite windy. And as it starts and finishes in town, there's a little bit of technicality to deal with at the start and end. EF Education, Cannondale, a good time trial team. They have Faulkner, Kadzau, who's just really strong in Liège, and they smash Volker Vessel's time to set the best provisional for quite a while, 19:29. Then AG Insurance Soudal, they've got Anya Lowe here, but probably their GC leader, or definitely their GC leader, Sarah Giganti. The young Australian would be wanting to stay as close as possible to the likes of SD Works, etc. Liv Jayco, also a good time trial team, especially with some of the lead-out riders and sprinters and rouleurs that they have. They predictably put in a good performance, but were just shy of EF's mark. A lot of these teams around the 19:30 mark. FDJ Suez as well. They've got Cavalli. They set the best time at the intermediate, but the curious thing about FDJ Suez was the number of riders they finished with. They ended up setting a really, really good time, but look how many they finished with. It's the fourth rider that sets the time, because we're not in the Pyrenees strange rules anymore. And they finish with 7 riders just about. 6 riders really in the group, so they could have afforded to drop off a few more. They actually don't beat EF's time. Visma Lisa Bike, they got the funky Giro helmets on. Marianne Vos locked in. She'll probably be wanting to take the red jersey at least for a few stages if she wins a sprint in the next few days. Canyon Schramm, though, start with 5, because Neve Bradbury, I think, was on the provisional, but she couldn't start, and they already were 1 rider down. The other teams were starting with 7. They're starting with 5 riders, including Niewiadoma, who they're supporting for GC. Nonetheless, they set a pretty cracking time despite that handicap, Canyon Schramm. And who knows, if they had 2 extra riders, how much faster they could have gone. They are only about 7 or 8 seconds behind Team Visma Lisa Bike's time. We'll see them in a second, but maybe the stage favourites, definitely 2 of the probably GC favourites, Longo Borghini and Little Trek, led out by Ellen Van Dyke. They also got Brody Chapman, very valuable rouleur. They were trying to beat Team Visma Lisa Bike's intermediate time, who were pretty fast, 12 seconds faster than FDJ Suez and Cannondale, who are good team time trial teams. You can see the gap Rihanna Marcus, Dutch Natty Champ has got on the rest. She was the engine of this TTT, and yeah, their time was good, 19:20, nearly 50 k's an hour average. Could SD Works beat it? I mean, they've got Reusser, Voss, Vollering, Cecchini, Guarici. Some of these lead-out riders are actually very good in the team time trial discipline. The problem for them and Trek was, they had to carry Fisher Black through the team time trial. She's a pure climber, so what you can see here is her swapping off at the back, not pulling through. They're trying to nurse her through this flat TTT because they don't want her to lose too much or any time on GC. She can be a dual GC threat, Fisher Black. She's a really talented climber. And same thing with Little Trek. With Riolini, she's at the back with Diagnan actually a sweeper for her, and it's really only 5 riders pulling. Spratt, Backstedt, Chapman, Longo Borghini and Van Dyke, whilst they're trying to nurse Gaia Riolini through, who obviously has the weight disadvantage on these flat sections. She just can't pull through compared to the riders who might be 20, 25 kilos heavier than her, 50% heavier than her. And we see that Little Trek, despite that, they're up on Visma at the intermediate by 8 seconds. SD Works down, though. But it ain't over till it's over. Little Trek looked like they were storming away to victory. They still had 7 riders going into this last right-hand corner that you can see. It's about 400 meters to go. And they get lined up for it. They're coming in with speed. And the third rider, I think it's Van Dijk, and then Backstead's fourth wheel behind her. The third rider hits the apex too early and then gets off balance and pedal strikes and goes down straight on her face. I think that was Van Dijk that went down first. And disaster. Spratt and Rigolini most importantly behind, but also you have to finish with 4. The fourth rider sets the team's time, and so Chapman and Longoborghini, I think it is, are looking back like, oh no, what do we do? Rigolini starts sprinting. Deignan, who was the sweeper, gets her back up to speed, and Rigolini, she's now catching up to riders who are waiting. They had such a huge buffer, as you can see. There's 17 seconds still with 200 meters to go. But Chapman and Longoborghini are basically freewheeling. And then Rigolini's coming back with such speed in their draft. She starts shouting at them because they're now going to go too slowly because they've waited too long and they didn't get up to speed. It's like when you see a satellite ride and Rigolini's going, "Vai! Vai!" And eventually she actually goes past them, says, "Hurry up." And it looks like, they surely can't win the stage win after that. With now the 2 riders waiting, getting past, but they do. This is the narrowest margin I've seen of victory in a TT for a long time. ITT or TTT. 0.02 seconds over Visma Lease Bike. That's a matter of unclipping less. How Rigolini avoided the crash and just got back up to speed shifting, just a gear shift here or there, is that amount of time. And Trek still win the stage, which is crazy. SD Works were out of it, but they never get the corner safely. They keep Vollering and Niamh Fisher Black more than in the fight. There was not actually big gaps in this TTT. Very exciting TTT. Trek actually would have run away with it without the crash, but I think 7 teams, there's Backstead, you can see finishing, she was caught up as well. 7 teams within 10 seconds. Which is, in a 20-minute TT, very close margins. Movistar as well on 12 seconds. But Trek win it, despite the drama and the crash. Rigolini, because she was first across the line, which probably they didn't expect, goes into the red jersey. Can she hold it? We'll see if Vos can take bonies tomorrow. But all's well that ends well for Little Trek. Smiles at the end. Ellen Van Dijk, fortunately, despite going down hard, the team said on Twitter this evening that she doesn't have any signs of concussion and is being taken to hospital for checks. Here's what their Italian superstar had to say after the stage.
Yeah, I'm really happy about these results for me and for the team, but I'm not complete happy because in the last corner 2 my teammates crash, but in the end take this result and focus for the next stage.
But I've enjoyed the video. Tomorrow we should have a sprint with so many teams close on GC and the jersey up for grabs. I doubt the breakaway will have a chance, but who knows? In the Tour last year, stranger things definitely happened. Until then, ciao.